Alrighty guys, welcome everybody. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. Now in today's live stream, we are going to be talking about, swing trading stocks. We're going to be talking about strategies, approaches, everything you guys need to get started with swing trading. And if you guys want to learn more about swing trading, check out our school. It's absolutely fantastic. We have private live streams, so sessions like this where you guys can ask questions, interact, voice concerns, and also, we have private live streams, quizzes, lectures, a group chat. We really take pride in understanding trading is a long-term journey, not a get-rich-quick scheme. So check out our school. It's awesome. You guys can use code LIONS for 47% off because the Detroit Lions won against the Cowboys. Let's go 47-9. So we're doing a fun little sale for 47% off. So guys, let's jump into this here. So, when it comes to swing trading and trading, everybody wants to know, how can I start swing trading with a small amount of money? Whether it's $100, $500, $1,000, whatever a small amount of money is to you. So the biggest thing that I would recommend doing is, if you're just starting out, take a step back, focus on learning, focus on understanding the concepts, figuring out what type of trader you want to be. Some of you actually might be drawn towards day trading rather than swing trading, and that's completely fine. But the biggest thing is just start learning. The more you learn, the more you're going to earn. So I would highly recommend paper trading. Paper trading is using simulated money to practice your entries, your exits, your risk management systems, and a broker I use for paper trading, because personally, even nowadays, I will honestly find myself take a paper trade every once in a while, because as a trader, one of the things here is you're never not a student, and I think that's very important. So if you're just starting out, or maybe you already trade, take a step back, focus on learning, and I'll put the broker I used, Mumu, in the chat for you guys. But yeah, all right, so let's talk about here the approach. So for me, before I ever place a trade here, I use my trading checklist. And if you guys sign up for the course, you guys have access to this little trading journal here, which is awesome. But having a good trading checklist is very important. So if you're already in that spot where you're starting to trade, I would recommend, writing out your trading journal or your trading checklist. We do have a journal where you guys can actually write in. That's awesome as well. But before we ever take a trade, we want a stock that has an upward trend, some sort of support, an undervalued RSI. We want to know the earnings date, good risk and reward, and then 1 hour support. This little checklist right here is key, because this ensures you're going to choose quality over quantity. So let's look at some of our trades here, and you guys can kind of see what I do, so you guys can understand what to do for your future trades. And if you guys are watching, make sure you guys subscribe. We're actually almost to our subscriber goal, which is very good. So this is a stock here that we recently took a position on, and this is ticker symbol BRFS. BRFS here, looking at it, it checks off the trend, right? You guys can see it has that good upward trend. More importantly, it really loves this blue line. This blue line is what we call the 90-day moving average line. It acts as support. It also will act as resistance. So when the stock falls below it, you guys can see it actually uses it as resistance rather than support. So in an ideal situation, you want to get in, when the stock is above it, because of recent, tendencies of getting good buying pressure. So another thing that we want is more support, right? The more support you have, the better off you're going to be. So we do have these moving average lines, but we also have this here. This right here is a trend line. Having a good trend line is actually very important here, because you guys can see each and every time now it hits this line, what do we notice? It gets good buying pressure. Before I ever classify it a trend line, we want a minimum of 3 touches of buying pressure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, recently 6. So good, checks off the box. Also, it was undervalued on the RSI. It was about a 30 on the RSI, which is a very undervalued point for a stock. The only issue that I had with this stock here is this stock was $4. Anytime you trade a stock under $5, it's gonna be a little more volatile. So the swings on it could be a little larger. So what you can do is to set your stops a little looser or a little tighter depending on your risk setup. Maybe if you are just starting out with a small amount of money, set your stops a little tighter. If you're trying to grow an account very, very fast, you could set them a little looser so you have a little more flexibility. But looking at this here, you guys can see if we took a trade, and this is actually what we did. If we took a trade near and around this trend line, setting our target up here at resistance, setting our stop just below it, it's about a 3.9 risk and reward. So risking $1 to make $3.92, which is very, very good. So BRFS has been played out very well. And then the hourly, we got in on that breakout here of this trend. And now the stock has been moving and grooving its way up, which is very, very good. Another one here that we're in on is ticker symbol DX. Very similar situation, you guys will notice. Good risk and reward. You guys will see the 90-day moving average line as support. Honestly, in an ideal situation, you do want to trade on the 200-day just because it's going to be a little harder support, but that's completely fine. Another thing here is the trend, right? We do have a nice little trend line, as you guys can see. Hits it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, establishing good buying pressure, getting in at literally the same type of setup here is going to be on this general trend line down like such on that breakout. And that's exactly what we did here. You guys can see here on our trading journal. Let me pull it back up so you guys can see. Our trading journal here for these stocks here, we're up about 700, 300. We're not in on AJG anymore, but we are also in on Tesla. Tesla is one of these stocks here that right now, it hasn't been an A+ setup here. It's more of a B setup. You guys can see it found hourly support. It also just got huge amount of selling pressure, from like 240 to, the 217, 215 area. And it does have this trend line. That's why we got in on it, but that's completely fine. So the question is, how do you develop a watch list? So what I do is I actually go and I look at any stock in my scanner that has some sort of potential. Any stock. I'll seek out all of my scanning opportunities and I will literally go in and just evaluate it. We'll do it towards the end here of the live stream. So you guys can kind of see how I instantly just will kind of just get a general idea of stocks with some plays. So as far as opportunity goes, you guys will notice that most of these stocks here are very similar to the stocks that we bought. The reason why we're not holding them is it could be a variety of things. It could be we just missed the train. It could be that the stock is getting more sell-off than we initially thought. It didn't break out. Found some resistance. So let's just continue to go. Let's go through them here. So we actually really liked CCEP. Looking at it, you guys will notice, right? It has that very similar pattern. Good upward trend. Sold off down to that 90-day moving average line. Hit it. And we had that good move. Actually, the stock is up a little bit. And right now, this is one of those plays where it's kind of like the train has already left the station, especially if you set your stop below that 90-day moving average line. The risk and reward right now would not be very good because if we entered at the current price, our target would be at nearby resistance like such, and our stop would be just below it. So as you guys can see, not a good risk and reward. You always want to keep your stop loss. I am having trouble drawing risk and reward. The best thing that I would recommend doing is to look at the hourly. So like something like this. Well, we'll do this one here. So CPB, what I would do to draw it out, I draw it out on the daily quite often just to kind of instantly show you guys. But I do think in order to get a very good gauge, I would recommend going to the hourly. So you guys can see this one found really nice support. This is one of those plays where I wish I would have got in. It found everything we look for, right? It had the breakout. We could have got in, on the trend line breakout. Also found heavy support here on the hourly. Broke out, even on the 200. So a lot of opportunities with this one here. So what I would do is go to the hourly and figure out, if we're watching this, right, like this. Okay, you guys can see like normally what we would do is have a trend like this. Okay, so you guys can see possible entry at 47. Maybe you want to wait. Okay, so this right here would be kind of that forming a trend line near and around 47. Whoops, let's remove that. I thought I was on the right here. All right, so then I would enter here. I would set our target up at resistance. So, you know, jeez, I can't even drag this right there. Okay. So when establishing resistance, you want to really look at before it broke under these moving average lines. Because if it breaks above them, we could have a good move here. So we would set it up here, right? You guys can see resistance. And then we would keep our stop. You see where it says 40 or 46.62? That's the lowest wick that we've seen out of this trend line. So what I would do is I would keep it below that. So maybe at about 46.16 in that range. So what we want to do is if this stock sells off back down to here, it can kind of curl and you're not going to get stopped out. It's going to kind of curl up like that. That's what we would want to see. But in this case, this actually found really good trends and popped its way up. So you want to set your stop loss below the lowest wick and our target up at resistance. That's kind of what I would do to get a good gauge of risk and reward there. But moving on, we have EHI. This one here does look pretty interesting here. And the reason why is it's because it's trading on that 200-day moving average line. The 200-day is going to be a harder support, harder resistance than the 90. There is obviously some issues with this play here. One of the issues being it's very volatile. You guys can see the swings on it are very high, which in an ideal situation you don't really want. You guys can see it has seen good tendencies to breaking through the 200-day moving average line, as well as the RSI is it's not overvalued, it's not undervalued. It's kind of, at a 37 in that range, 38. But looking at the hourly, what we would want to see, and what I thought we could see is some decent price support. You guys can see here, let's draw it out. You guys can see it hits this price here, buying pressure, hits it again, buying pressure, almost again. So I was thinking maybe a move from, $6.74 to possibly $7 in that range. I'm not sure how well I really like it, but it's definitely worth to throw on watch is my thought process. What do I think of CIG? Let's pull it up. CIG energy here. CIG, okay, this one here, you guys can see it's selling off down below sold off down below the moving average lines. Now it does look like it did find some nice support at $1.92. So it's definitely a stock under that $5 range. So what does that mean? That means we could see more volatility. Let's go to the daily here and we can kind of see it. So it's used moving average lines as support in the past, which is good here. The RSI as of right now is at a 33. Why did we get sell off here? We got a little sell off. It looks like before the earnings here. A little dip down from 197 to about that 190 range. Found some support there. Yeah, I mean, for me, as of right now, there's obviously we could see some hourly support. The only issue is the price that concerns me. When you get in on these stocks that are under, especially $2 in that dollar window, they're riskier. So maybe a move from 920 to 92 to 96 for a breakout there. There could be a move. There could be a move. Like I said, the only issue I really see is gonna be that good trend, as you guys can kind of see there. My phone is exploding. People are texting me. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would throw it on watch, and possibly, if you want to get in on a position like this, very small, add more on the breakout would be my thought. INTR is above that 200-day moving average line. The daily looks, decent. We called this stock out at $6. Now it's $6.50. Good play. One of those things that train has already left the station. We'll kind of just remove it from the watch. Just because probably won't take a trade on this one. This one here is a trend line play, as you guys can see. Hits it a couple of times, getting a good move. It was also 28 on the RSI. I had very good indication of getting buying pressure out of this, and good play. Moving its way up. I thought it was going to ride that trend a little bit better, but did dip down a little bit, like such. So yeah, good move out of this. There actually could be a move from 34 going higher, setting your stops below, the 33.75 mark. Not too bad there. Yeah. Wow, great. This one here, I'm just even looking at it. I wish I would have looked at this a little better. You guys can see the good hourly support this has there. Pretty good. what is this? ITUB here. I think this is finally starting to break out. Let's zoom in a little bit better. Yep. Does look like it is starting to break out, possibly consolidate. The issue right now is it does look like it is still forming underneath that 90-day. So support down here, like there. Resistance is about here. So there could be a little play in that window there, which is pretty good. LLY, great play. This is a stock that one of those where I wish I would have bought it, right? Found that good hourly trend. The daily looks very, very good. As you guys can see, it hit that 90-day moving average line. Went from 880 to 930, sold off a little bit, but still pretty good. LNR is a play that just sold off like crazy. Sold off like crazy here. It was at one point 811 on the RSI, which is very undervalued. The issue is this trend, right? You guys can see it does not like to break above it. So maybe a move from 66 to 72 to higher, but not a huge fan of how steep this sell-off is. MMYT, this is another play that's working out very good. Could see a move from 101 to 106 to 111, keeping stops below it at like 97. NUV, great play above those moving average lines. We'll start using them as support. We had the golden cross here, which is when that lower moving average line breaks up through the higher. Now it's looking very, very well. Which way do I need to go? I feel like I am not centered on this way a little bit. OSCR, this one here is one that I actually really like. We're just kind of waiting for this breakout here. And the reason why I like it so much is I believe it's this one. Yes. Okay, so this one here has this good 200-day moving average line support here. It's a 32 on the RSI, very undervalued. So we could see a move from like 16 to 23, which would be nice. You guys can see, that really hard resistance up there, possibly a trend. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe a little trend there as well. So there could be, let's remove the moving average line so you guys can see it a little better. So there could be a little move going higher there. So definitely one to throw and watch. PB here, Procter & Gamble, is a blue chip play. Blue chip stocks like Procter & Gamble, some of these stocks that get a little more volume often do perform a little better with the strategy. So let's go back and make sure we are good. And if you guys are watching, make sure you guys hit that like button. Check out our school code LIONS for 47% off. Good play on the 90-day moving average line, rallying its way up. RITM hit that 200. Good move out of that. A lot of these plays worked out very well. This one here's another one. SYK. SYK did everything right. Found hourly support, broke out above those moving average lines. Now it's rallying its way up. Looked very, very well. Tyson Foods. I believe some of you guys bought in on Tyson on this hourly support, if I'm not mistaken here. So, from 56 to 60, looking pretty good. TXN, Texas Instruments here. The daily, this one here, let's see, approaching the 90-day. It's a little higher on the RSI. It's at a 40, so probably stay away from that one here. Not a huge fan of that. WCN here, hit that 90, moving and grooving now. I know, let's pull up the Discord. We did have some people that were taking some trades. So ES here was in the talks this morning in the group. ES here, yeah, good move on that 90-day, 63 to 66. The hourly looks pretty good, right? You guys can see it found a little support here, possible trend line like this, like that. As you guys can see, it kind of wedged out. Boom, popped up, looks good. Congrats on that. Let's see what other ones we are looking at. Somebody asked. Let's see here. Where was it? I know it was like B something. B. Is it this one? Oh yeah, BD. Let's see here. BDSX here. Let's pull it up. BDXS Biostock. Okay, so this stock, you guys can see, looking at the daily. Oh, we looked at this one in the past. Possible trend line, like I already had kind of drawn out there. This stock is cheap. That's the issue. Stock's cheap. RSI is at pretty much a 40. I would stick away from it. I just think there's a lot better options in the market right now. If you were to take a place a trade on this, I'm sure the risk and reward is good just because the volatility is there. But 5-1. That's the trade I would do. Very tight stop. Not too bad. But yeah, guys, we'll end it here. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you guys did, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next. Don't forget to check out our school. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you guys in the next.